Okay. Yeah, please show your ideas.
Yeah. So this is my situation. Today I'm really exhausted. I turn back to my hotel. That's a my accommodation housing company. For the time being, the pandemic, the COVID pandemic impacted to many business, and my company to survive and through the crisis. Uh, my company come to the final decision. That's a that's a keep keep our staff in accommodation housing. We lack of we lack of many staff, and anyone they can they anyone they staying in accommodation company, they need to they must to handle a lot of uh, they must to handle a lot of things, because we lack of people due to some lockdown area. Mm, we, we need to work 12 hour 12 hours per day. We wake up at we wake up at 4:30 a.m. and turn back to the hotel at 7 p.m. Sometimes we have a meeting at night with our boss to show to to uh, to discuss how to how to how to keep the Russian life still running, and how to solve many issue in our Russian life. Just a couple just a couple of days ago, uh, our staff in in uh, in kitchen department, they got results, positive positive from COVID test, and we lose our kitchen. So now we facing that we uh, we lack of food. And today I turn back to my room, to my hotel, with no dinner. So this is really a tough time for us. That's all.
Oh, very good, Mr. Tong.
Good
Thank you
teacher.
so much for your idea. It turns out a horrible time for us. Okay, very good, Mr. Tong. And right here, I've got some words from you. The very first word that is temporary accommodation. Those types of accommodations are just for the time being. So we can say that's those, okay, those accommodation. Right now you are living in this accommodation. You can say these accommodations are just for the time being. So when things are just for the time being, or you can think of the word like temporary, temporary. So here we have a very good word for us to use. It is shelter and accommodate. I can say that I can say that the boss is going to accommodate me right, in his company, because he doesn't want us to go anywhere. Okay, in the pandemic, just lock us inside the company. We eat, we sleep, we work, just like okay the robots. Okay, in this pandemic, so everybody is going to have a nice shelter or a suitable shelter for work and to be able to live. And that is one of the most that is the happiest moments in our life. Sure. So right here we can use the word like shelter as a noun in English, or we can use the word like accommodation as a noun in English. So right here, your boss, okay, the company or the organization. So instead of calling that is a company, we can use the word like accommodation to make our word sound more meaningful to the listener. So the organization of shelters all kinds of professionals from okay, all kinds of professionals working in the medical care. Okay, we can use like medical, okay, working in medical field or working in the pharmaceutical pharmaceutical field. Oh, such a long word. But we have the word like pharmaceutical university. So if we want to become nurses or doctors, we need to study in the pharmaceutical university first. And then we graduate and we can proudly say that, oh, I work in the pharmaceutical field. Most people say that they work in medical field, but medical is much more about medicines. But once you become a nurse or become a doctor already, you will say that you work in pharmaceutical field. So for pharmaceutical field, they use the word like professionals, okay, professionals. So doctors are professionals, nurses are professional, and we have a noun. Okay, this professional is the noun, and okay, professional can be an adjective in English. So the organization shelter accommodate, okay, shelters accommodates the employees, and the shelter has to be okay, has to be has to be up to date, and the shelter has to be convenient, and the shelter has to be okay, has to be clean, okay, has to be clean, and the shelter has to provide okay enough food and drinks for every professional working in this pandemic. And here, okay, we use the word temporary accommodation, or you consider the accommodation that just being for the time being lots of meetings, or we can say unlimited meetings. So these unlimited meetings, okay, the number of lockdown areas are rising. So okay, so we don't expect okay the meeting, but you can say that the meetings come unexpectedly. Late. Okay, unexpectedly. It's like the pandemic happens unexpectedly or as unexpected, as unexpected. So we can use the word as unexpected or unexpectedly, okay, at the end of the word, at the end of the word, at the end of the sentence, okay, to make everything sound professional in our sentence. Positive COVID-19 tested person. Okay, so tested, it means that already tested positive, okay, a positive COVID-19 tested person, and this kind of person works in kitchen area, and okay, and then you can say that oh, the kitchen area happens to be locked down. So we have a structure in this in English. Happen to do something. If something happened to something else, it means that it suddenly happened. It suddenly happened, or something happened all of sudden. I could say that oh, well, my area is locked down all of a sudden, or my neighborhood is suddenly locked down, okay, for example. So the kitchen area is also locked down. Yeah, yeah. And the last sentence you say that it is such a horrible time for it is a horrible time for us, or because it turns out a horrible time for us. Something okay, we usually use the word it for the phrase turns out. This is the phrasal verb. It turns out something. It turns out something, or it turns out a noun in English. So because said that the pandemic, okay, so we need to have a subject instead of the word it. If you can find an appropriate subject to go with the word turnout. So okay, something turns subject turn or something, or subject turns on noun. So the pandemic turns out, okay, the pandemic turns out hazardous, okay, a hazardous circumstance all over Vietnam. So right here, we don't use the word situation anymore because things are getting more serious and a lot of damages, okay, and okay, all over Vietnam. So if you can see that lots of things are damages or are damaged, okay, so you can use the word dangerous because dangerous are much is much stronger than the word dangerous, hazardous, dangerous. And here we use the word circumstance when the situation, when the situation, okay, situation is out of control, okay, or you can say it's out of league. We have one more idiom today, out of league. Yeah, so very good, Mr. Tong. And right now, let's see how much Miss Nun can go with her presentations.
Okay, teacher. Uh,
Yes.
this is my idea. Uh, I waste a lot of time trying writing it down. So uh, nowadays, the pandemic has been affected to our life, tangibly or intangibly, directly or indirectly. But I believe that this is not the first time. Not only in this pandemic, we youngster, all of youngster all over the world has gone over the terrible moment in life that you negatively imagine that you can never got over it, and it would be for good. Uh, specifically, but I can specifically uh, tell out here is our very first time start our job, um, getting to a completely new environment and try to adapt working among animals strangers or to be put in the box uh, and could could easily be our crisis, and even you can imagine your future, and that's my situation for 1 years ago when I start my job in hospital. And as uh, at in my previous presentation, I've mentioned the rule that you need to be a follower first and leader from later. And yes, my frame of mind, my positive thought that incorporates me um, a lot every day is my error sooner and later come, as long as I keep working diligently and enthusiastically. This hard time only come for the time being. It's not for good. So what I need to do day by day is take care of myself, my health, expand my knowledge and enhance my skill, and keep maintaining positive energies. And um, the most important thing is do not do not procrastinate, because learning is never wasteful, and um, knowledge is and the guideline of my life if I can die out of ignorance. That's my frame of mind.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you, Miss Thanh, for sharing your perspectives and situation with me. Okay, very thoughtful and considerable. So right here, yeah, so right here, I have collected some keywords from Miss Nun. The very first one that is infected. So right here, directly, tangibly, indirectly, intangibly. Oh, very good ways of combining all the words together. So right here we have the word like infect. Yeah, So you can say that the patient, the patient get infected, with COVID-19, with COVID-19, or the areas, or the area is infected, or the area is already infected, or the area is just infected moments ago, or because this is infectious. This is the infectious area. It means that this kind of area is going to spread. It's going to spread the virus. The virus, the pandemic more. More seriously, and quickly, and also rapidly. So right here, you if you want to say that something keeps going on and going on, and we cannot stop for the time being, we can use the word like infectious. So right here we can say that infectious, infectious person. That kind of person is already infected, and that kind of person is going to spread, is going to spread the virus, to spread the virus onto other people. Instead of using the word spread, we can switch to the word like transfer. Oh my gosh, transfer can use in so many ways. It's like I'm going to transfer the positive energies, towards everybody who works with me, youngsters, or you can use the word like the young, the young, very nice way. Work in an isolated place, work in the middle of nowhere, or with absolute strangers. We have the word like absolutely. Absolutely. Once you answer your friend, you can say that definitely, absolutely. It means that certainly, 100%, for sure. So right here we have the word like, oh, absolutely happens. So when you work in the middle of nowhere, because we are professionals, so we are being transferred from places to places. So the professional, so we can say that pharmaceutical professionals are transferred, places from places, places from places. So so the situation here is we often work in the middle of nowhere. First, we feel very like exhausted, out of energy, out of energy. Second of all, we feel very isolated, it's not us, it's not us. Keeping ourselves to ourselves. When you feel like you keep yourself, when you feel like you keep yourself, to yourself, it means that you want to be alone. You want to be alone. You don't want to be with anybody. You just want to be alone and quiet, so that you can feel more relaxed and get your energies back. Because right now you feel like your energy, your energies are drained. It means that your energy is going out a lot, and you cannot keep the energy inside in order for you to live till the last hour of the day. So you use the word like my energies are drained. I try to keep myself to myself. It's like I want to be alone. I want to be quiet. And one more idea for you to remember this, to remember this expression, that is, we try to keep ourselves together. So right here, is the idea, keep ourselves, I'm trying to keep myself together. I'm trying to pull myself together, pull myself or somebody's self together. When you feel so stressed, you lose, yourself. You don't know what to do, where to go, because you are so hopeless. So when you are so alone, you feel like alone, you feel like quiet, and you feel like, you are hopeless, you are hopeless, and you don't know where to go, because you need to remind yourself that keep yourself together, pull yourself together. It means that calm down, calm down, and bit by bit, get up, and get on, and stand on our feet, our feet to fight, and stand on our feet to fight. So pull yourself together, calm down bit by bit, get up, stand on our feet to fight, continue to fight, So it's like keep myself to myself. This is the way that we try to express in simple English. Yeah, advanced one, keep myself together. Pull yourself together. You look so desperate, for example. So right here, pharmaceutical professional are transferred from places to places, and you work in an isolated places in the middle of nowhere with absolute strangers, people that you don't know, okay? And nobody cares about all the people's feeling. They just keep their head busy with the work. So these strangers, okay, no emotion. Okay. So people seems like emotion, okay, unemotional because we are busy. We don't have any emotions anymore. Unemotional, and they try to keep their mind or their head busy, or you can use the word like occupied with work, because we need to save people. We need to make everything like okay in a right place. So right here, you said that you start or begin a job in the hospital, or you can say that like I have okay, I have a very first start. I have a very first start or begin. Okay, I have a very first start or beginning at this in this hospital. In this hospital. Okay, it's like the first time. Okay, the first time experience as professional as pharmaceutical again, pharmaceutical professional. So right here, yeah. And the next one that is the phrase be followers first, then leaders later. Be followers first, leaders later. Whenever you try to do something like first, okay, and then if something happens later, it's like we make up. Okay, this is our okay, our made up expression. So once you make up your expression, please try to use the word like here go, then come, like first and later. So here go the followers, then come the leaders. Okay, to like yeah, chance a little bit to revise ourselves of old English words. And here need. Okay, you say that need when we need something. Okay, something very much. Okay, we need something very much. I can feel it. But to make we need to add. Okay, we need to add extreme feelings to our words. So if we try to add extreme feelings to our word, we need to use some structures. And the structure right here, okay, here is to be in need of, horribly need. So when you are in need of something, it means you horribly need those kind of things. And you cannot live without it. So horribly need, or we can use the phrase like essentially need. I essentially need, okay, something. I cannot live without that thing. So I essentially need, or you live on something. If you live on something, it means that is the thing that you cannot go without, work without, live without, study without. You need to have that kind of thing with you all the time. For example, the phone. So right here, I always live on my phone. I feel so desperate. So once you live on something, you will feel desperate because okay because you lose control of yourself. Okay, you lose control of yourself. So live on something, it means like essentially need, we essentially need something, essentially need, live on, we feel desperate, we need to add extreme feelings to our words. And the last one is procrastinate. So you can say that the procrastination gets you being left behind. It's like you want to do something and then it turns out you stop thinking about the thing that you want to do. You stop or get acting on your plan. So it's like you make a plan and then you stop acting on not your plan. Because I stop acting on my plan, I stop acting on my intention. So once you stop acting on, it means that you stop, okay, you stop working out on the plan you make on or on the intention you make. We have a structure in English right here, on something, work out on something. I try to work out on my new way of teaching English. For example, I try to work it out So here we can say that work, okay, work something out, or work out, okay, or we can say that work out on something, and people usually say work on something because it's much shorter and more convenient and easily memorable. Work on, work out on, so long. So okay, so typically memorable. Work something out. So act on. Once you act on, it means the last one. That it means that you are going to take a course. Okay, take a course of act. Okay, on something. If you want to be more specific, and in Vietnamese, we have a very nice word for act on. Take a course of act on something, that is hành động. Như vậy khi mà mình muốn nói rằng là tôi bắt đầu hành động nè, tôi bắt đầu hành động, tôi gọi là bắt đầu gọi là giật dây, hoặc là tôi bắt đầu đưa ra những cái chiến lược hay như thế nào đó, thì người ta sẽ dùng từ act on hoặc là take a course of act. Và ngoài ra mình có cái từ được gọi là mình triển khai, mình thử mình làm cái gì đó, hoặc là mình thử xem coi cái cách của mình có hiệu quả hay là không, thì người ta sẽ dùng từ work cái gì đó out, hoặc work out on cái gì đó. Và thường thì người ta sẽ dùng từ work on nhiều hơn là work out on, tại vì đọc nó rất là lủng củng, và khi mà chưa có rành pronunciation thì đọc cái từ này, mới vừa đọc xong cái từ là quên luôn cái ý tưởng mà mình muốn nói. Do đó thì thường thì người ta sẽ không dùng cái từ này đâu, người ta chỉ dùng cái từ này thôi. Do đó thì ở đây thì mình sẽ để số bằng, nhưng mà thực chất ra mình hãy chọn cái cách nói được gọi là work on. Và khi mà mình gọi là mình sống cái kiểu mà mình thiếu là mình không sống nổi, thì mình sẽ dựa vào cái từ, mình sẽ dùng cái từ là live on. Như vậy tôi gọi là tôi sống không thể thiếu cái điện thoại, thì thay vì nói một cách được gọi là bình thường là can't live without, unable to live without cái gì đó, hoặc là can't live without cái gì đó, thì người ta chọn hai chữ thôi, không cần dùng từ phủ định, không cần dùng cấu trúc phủ định, người ta sẽ nói là live on cái gì đó trong tiếng Anh. Và khi mà mình live on thì mình cảm thấy rất là gọi là bản thân mình đã cảm thấy bất hạnh rồi, và mình còn cảm thấy đau khổ nữa, thì vừa bất hạnh mà vừa đau khổ thì người ta sẽ dùng từ desperate. Thì desperate nó rất là khổ sở, thì cái cảm xúc mà nó khổ sở, nó dày vò trong bản thân, rồi còn cảm thấy buồn bã, rất là buồn bã nữa, thì người ta sẽ dùng thêm một từ là desperate, đây được gọi là buồn tận sâu trong đáy lòng, tận sâu trong đáy lòng. Thì người ta sẽ có một cái từ được gọi là desperate và miserable. Như vậy vừa miserable vừa desperate thì người ta chỉ gộp vô một từ thôi, desperate. Hoặc còn từ thứ hai nữa thì phải nhớ từ này, nhưng mà nó hơi dài thôi, nhưng mà mình sẽ dễ nhớ nếu mà mình thích cái cách phát âm của nó. Devastated, tôi cảm thấy rất là devastated, tôi cảm thấy rất là desperate, tại vì miserable và desperate deep down inside my heart, và mình lose control, mình không có control được, và mình vẫn tiếp tục sống như thế, cần thật sự cần luôn, và không bao giờ có thể thiếu được nó trong một cái khoảng cách nào đó trong cuộc sống, thì người ta sẽ dùng từ in need of, horribly need, essentially, chứ không dùng từ necessarily. Đây được gọi là cần cũng như không cần. Như vậy cần cũng như không cần thì người ta sẽ dùng từ necessarily. Như vậy ở đây là gọi là not in need, chỉ là cần để giải trí mà thôi, hoặc là xài cho có mà thôi. Necessarily need, essentially need. Như vậy đây là cái bài của Miss Ngân và bài của Mr. Tuệ. Như vậy là hai anh chị đã bộc ra được rất là nhiều ý tưởng, và từ từ mình sẽ có được nhiều cái hay hơn nữa. Thì sau buổi học ngày hôm nay